Welcome to Squirrel Hills Trail Park, located just outside the beautiful town of Minnedosa, Manitoba, Canada. Today, we're taking a closer look at one of the area's quieter outdoor destinations, a place where rolling hills, trees, prairie landscapes, and the Little Saskatchewan River Valley come together to create some beautiful scenery. Located on the western edge of Minnedosa, along Provincial Road 355 and west of Highway 10, Squirrel Hills is a recreational area that offers something a little different from the wide-open prairie landscape that Manitoba is often known for. As you make your way into the area, the landscape begins to change. Instead of completely flat farmland, you start to see hills, wooded sections, and natural valleys. The elevation changes make this area particularly interesting for hiking, cycling, cross-country skiing, and simply enjoying the outdoors. But Squirrel Hills wasn't always the trail system we see today. The story of the Squirrel Hills Recreation Area goes back more than 30 years. In 1991, a group of local cross-country ski enthusiasts began clearing trails in the area. The project was developed with involvement from the Minnedosa and District Wildlife Association, the local cross-country ski club, and the town of Minnedosa. The goal was simple: to create a quality and challenging cross-country skiing experience close to home without local residents having to travel 1 or 2 hours away to find suitable trails. What started with a group of volunteers eventually developed into a larger trail network. Over the years, volunteers contributed thousands of hours clearing and maintaining trails, grooming routes, building facilities, and installing signs. And that volunteer spirit is still an important part of the story of Squirrel Hills today. The trail system is surrounded by natural vegetation, with trees and shrubs intentionally retained around many of the trails. This provides shelter for wildlife and gives visitors the opportunity to experience a more natural Manitoba landscape during the winter months. Squirrel Hills is primarily associated with cross-country skiing, but once the snow disappears, the area takes on a completely different character. During the spring, summer, and fall seasons, the trails can be used for activities such as hiking, cycling, dog walking, nature observation, and bird watching. One of the most impressive parts of visiting Squirrel Hills is the scenery. As you reach some of the higher points and lookouts, the landscape opens up in front of you. Below is the Minnedosa Valley, with the Little Saskatchewan River Valley stretching to the surrounding landscape. The river itself is an important part of Minnedosa's history. The Little Saskatchewan River flows through the town and eventually continues south toward the Assiniboine River. In fact, Minnedosa's own name has a connection to water. The town of Minnedosa explains that the name is a Sioux word meaning flowing water. Thousands of years ago, the landscape around Minnedosa was shaped by enormous amounts of glacial meltwater following the last great ice age. That ancient water helped carve the valley that we see today. Long before modern roads, parks, and hiking trails, indigenous peoples including Cree, Assiniboine, Sioux, and Ojibwe peoples occupied and traveled through this region. Later, European settlement began to develop around the Little Saskatchewan River. John Tanner arrived in the area around 1869 and operated a ferry across the river, helping travelers and settlers cross the waterway. The settlement became known as Tanner's Crossing before eventually becoming Minnedosa. The railway arrived in the early 1880s, helping transform the small settlement into a growing community. Today, the river and valley remain an important part of the area's character. And from Squirrel Hills, you can get a different perspective of that landscape. Instead of standing beside the river and looking upward at the hills, here you can stand above the valley and look across the landscape. It is a great reminder that Manitoba isn't always completely flat. There are valleys, hills, forests, wetlands, and rolling landscapes hidden throughout the province. For visitors who enjoy photography, the Squirrel Hills lookouts can also provide some beautiful opportunities. The changing seasons can completely transform the scenery. In summer, the landscape is surrounded by green vegetation. In autumn, the trees begin to change color, creating a much more dramatic view across the valley. And in winter, snow covers the hills and trails, creating the perfect environment for cross-country skiing that helped establish the recreation area in the first place. One of the things that makes Squirrel Hills interesting is that it doesn't necessarily feel like a large tourist attraction. Instead, it feels like a community recreation area, a place developed and maintained through local effort and volunteer work. It is a place where people can come to exercise, explore nature, take photographs, walk their dogs, ride a bike, ski in the winter, or simply stop and enjoy the view. And perhaps that's what makes places like Squirrel Hills special. You don't always need a massive national park or a famous tourist attraction to experience beautiful scenery. Sometimes you just need to follow a quiet road outside a small Manitoba town and discover what is waiting beyond the trees. So, if you're traveling to the Minnedosa area, Squirrel Hills Trail Park is worth adding to your list. Take some time to explore the trails, enjoy the natural surroundings, and make your way toward the lookout points. From up here, you can see the landscape that helped shape Minnedosa: the hills, the valley, the river, and the surrounding prairie. This is Squirrel Hills Trail Park in Minnedosa, Manitoba. A quiet corner of western Manitoba with more than 3 decades of local recreation history, beautiful valley views, and a trail system built largely through the dedication of the community. Thank you for joining us on this adventure. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow ANS Vlogs for more adventures, scenic places, and hidden gems across Manitoba and Canada. And as always, we'll see you on the next adventure.